What impact has that had on things like how easy your sales calls have been, things like objections or having to follow up, things like enjoying selling? Has it had any impact on any of those things as far as just the experience of being a closer?
I still remember this. So, objection side, it's usually they're either not a fit and we go our separate ways and we're both happy. Or if it is an objection, it's a real objection. It's
Hmm.
like, I actually have to legitimately think about this in this way because of this logistical thing. It's like, great. Or maybe there is still a bit of fear there, but because we're having that human to human conversation, they're going away. And I know you've said this before, but I've actually now experienced it. I don't follow up because they remember you and they remember the impact of the conversation you had with them and the feeling they had on that call. And they come back to me. And I
Hmm.
still remember to this day, I got this partner objection. And originally, I would have tried to handle it and get around it and try to close them on the call and fight it. And instead, I totally accepted it. I talked to him about it a little bit, but I totally accepted it and knew full well that I'd done such a good job in the first part of the call that he was
Right.
going to come back. 2 weeks later, he comes back and he goes, I'm so excited, man. I talked to my wife. It's a go ahead. Let's get this done.
Yeah.
Sent him the link, and then he was on the inside. So seeing that actually play out was really cool because again, it's one thing to hear it, but then you go and try it in real life, and then you see it happen. You're like, okay, cool.
A lot of these things in sales, you just have to experience it. You have to experience not getting objections on your call because you've actually done a masterful discovery. You have to experience getting an objection, and instead of having to use your ice cream truck analogy, you just have a conversation about it, or you sit there in silence for a minute, and the prospect wraps it up in their head and goes, yeah, you know what? I'm being silly. I am afraid, but I need to do this anyway. You have to experience that firsthand. You have to
Hmm.
experience someone giving you a legitimate objection. They're not lying to you. They're not trying to get off the call. They're just saying the truth. And you don't have to follow up. And a day, a week, somewhere around about that later, the prospect comes back and they just text you as opposed to you having to text them every day for the next. I've seen salespeople following up for a year. You
Yeah,
have to
no,
experience these for yourself.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different level of again, it doesn't feel like selling. It feels like you are building a relationship with a real human being, and ultimately you're finding out the truth around. And this, I love this part, which is, and I wrote this down, but why do they think they are where they are versus what's the real truth?
Yeah.
And when you can help them have that light bulb moment, and I mean, I've gone through it myself, and those are the most. Jacob sent me through that. That was my light bulb moment. It was what did I think the truth was around not joining full time into high ticket sales and making that leap of faith, and what was actually the truth. And it was me that was just letting fear hold me back. And then I get to take ownership on that as the prospect and go, how much longer do I actually want to let my behavior, my decisions affect how my life turns out?
Yeah.
And once you have it happen to yourself as well, you're much more easily able to help someone else through that.
100%. Yeah, like the story you said. I don't know what Jacob said. I don't remember it verbatim in the chat
Yeah.
that you had with Jacob. But, if you just had a real conversation with your prospect, so that would be you, and said, okay, so you've got fear. What exactly have you got fear about? And you said, well, I'm afraid that I've only got, and I'm just going to make up the number, I've only got $12,000 in my bank account. And so if I'm paying $3,000, investing $3,000 a month to be in the mastermind, I'll only be able to do 4 months and then I've got no money left. My
Mhm.
question would be, why do you want to join the mastermind? And you would say, well, to get better at sales or whatever. Okay, why do you want to get better at sales? To make more money. So are you planning on not doing that for the 4 months that you're going through your 3K a month? And immediately you'd have a light bulb
Yeah.
moment and go, yeah, no, of course I'm joining to plan to make more money. So what am I doing? And I could get there in basically two questions. Why are you joining? And then, so are you planning to join and not make any extra money? And with those two questions, you would realize your own absurdity.
Well, and that's exactly what Jacob did in a slightly different way. He's like, how much did you make last month part-time in high ticket sales? And I was like, 10
Yeah.
grand. And he's like, how much do you make from your salary? I was like, 5 grand. And then he didn't even have to say the rest.
It
I already
makes
knew. I was
sense.
like, I made double the amount part-time that I did full-time in my salary, I think I'm going to be okay. So,
And that's a key there as well, is when you learn the proper technique with scriptless selling, which, as you said, trying to copy and paste it from the role play recordings, probably not going to work very well. When you truly learn scriptless selling, you don't have to tell the prospect the conclusion. You just show them the data and they look at it and they come to their own conclusion, which also massively increases the ownership, which is the thing that most salespeople struggle with. They say, my prospects admitted they've got a problem. They know they've got a problem, but they're not willing to admit that it's their fault. How many deals have you already lost this week that you could have closed but didn't because you were out of state? I'm not a fan of sales hacks, but if there was one thing you could do before your next sales call to raise your closing percentage, it's using my patented pre-call checklist. Imagine taking just 60 seconds to read 5 to 7 personalized bullet points on a piece of paper, and as unbelievable as it may sound, puts you into the optimal state to access your highest sales skills on every call. That's the pre-call checklist. I'm going to show you how to create your own. All you need is a piece of paper and to go through the training that I'm going to give you. Thousands of salespeople have used this framework to close more deals, and you can have your own for free. No strings attached, in a matter of minutes. Click the link below this video, enter your email, and grab it right now.